Hashtag Ask Pierre, why does my diesel smoke so much when I first started? So two of our subscribers, one of whom was looking at a car that was for sale in St. Louis and another one who recently acquired a 300D, both noted that on startup the car smoked a little bit more than they would usually. And so we're going to talk about why you might get some extra exhaust smoke out of your 1981 and later OM6, well 1978 and later OM617 turbo diesel engine, and why this scenario doesn't mean a lot, isn't an indicator of anything bad, but you should evaluate certain systems in the car. So the first scenario involved a car that was for sale and smoked minutely for a short period of time. The second involves a car that barely smokes on cold mornings after startup and does not smoke following startup. Both of these are 300D turbo diesels, so they have the same glow plug systems. They both have over 200,000 miles, and they're both cars that have had reasonable amounts of maintenance. The first thing to look at when you see both a slight starting delay, instead of an instant start, maybe 2 to 3 seconds of cranking, would be the condition of the glow plug. So you should do a glow plug resistance test. This needs to come before changing fuel filters or checking for any abnormalities in the car's fuel system, because checking glow plugs is going to is the biggest tie-in to this sort of problem. The big problem, now I've got these giant Monarch glow plugs here in my hand from an E300 diesel, but they're big, so I can show you where the issue is. So as the filament between the tip and the connector on the glow plug ages, what's going to happen is it's going to have higher resistance values, particularly when it's activated. And just because a glow plug ohms out well doesn't necessarily mean it's good. Case in point, my own car. All my glow plugs worked pretty well on my 83 300D with 391,000 miles when I was visiting my in-laws over Christmas vacation. 2 days of Christmas vacation. However, that night it got down to about 28 degrees. And the next morning when I went out to start my good old 300D, it was a real pain to start because my glow plugs were fatigued. That meant that even though I had good resistance, not enough current or amperage was able to flow through the glow plugs and get them to a nice hot temperature. Needless to say, as soon as we put glow plugs in the car, everything dramatically changed. The engine started perfectly, and it behaved just like it did when I first got it, when it only had 289,000 miles on it. Now, one of the other problems that you're going to run into with these glow plug systems is whether or not you're getting enough voltage to the system, either because of a weak battery or because of a connectivity problem. I always say if you have glow plugs or you can't determine the age and you live in a cold climate, go ahead and replace them. But also make sure you're getting around 12 volts. I've seen glow plug relays only deliver 9 or 10 volts, either due to a weak battery or because there's something wrong with the controller, such as it being an aftermarket Huco unit made in India, or a unit that has been through the ringer with several burned glow plugs in the past. Now, this doesn't mean that the glow plug relay is necessarily the problem either. You may have a battery that's weak as well. Either way, these scenarios should resolve some white smoke in the morning, but in case you still get some smoke on startup that won't go away, here are a couple of other items to check. You may want to look at your valve stem seals. They could be old and brittle and allowing oil to leak past the intake valves and onto the top of the piston. OM617 engines are so tolerant of bad fuel, sometimes they don't clatter at all. A second thing could be injectors, of course. You may have an injector that's got an irregular spray pattern. This means that you're going to have to get an injection pump testing apparatus. The third item that I'd recommend looking at, of course, is injection pump timing. Your injection pump may be too advanced or too far back. You can either use the last drop drip method test, where you remove the pump element, not the entire pump element with the two 13mm nuts, but the central element that screws into the pump body, and removing the guts from that pump element, and then screwing the element cap back in and making sure that right at 24.5 degrees before top dead center that that you can't blow air through that passage anymore. With the element out, air should be able to pass from your mouth through the passage. As soon as that air can no longer pass, that means you've begun start of delivery, and that should occur at 24.5 degrees before top dead center. Or if you're lucky enough to have access to an AB light at 15 degrees after top dead center, you should have end of delivery. So of course these things can influence how well the car runs and drives and starts up in the morning. So anyway, if you liked this video and you felt that it was helpful, please let us know by liking it and sharing it. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, we're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers in 2021 because we feel we are a channel that matters and delivers good information for almost no, and we don't really ask anything from our viewers anyway for delivering this great information. So, you know, while some channels out there have 100,000 subscribers, I would like to see ours continue to grow to reach, you know, a reasonable number. And then finally, if you have not tapped the bell for notifications, we deliver new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. So don't fret about a little puff of smoke when you start. It doesn't mean your engine's dying. It just means you need to look at your glow plugs, your valve stem seals, maybe your injection pump timing, or you need to just not worry about it if all of those things are good. We'll see you later.
Nice.